We welcome to Sports Talk Mark Blakefield, who picked up his first win on the Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada on Sunday. Mark, congratulations. Big win.
Oh, thank you very much.
Let's go back to April when you qualified for the tour. Take us through that process.
Well, the Mackenzie Tour qualifying is just one stage. So I did it down in Florida, and I can't remember the exact numbers. I think there was something about 120, 130 players, and you had to finish inside the top 15 or 16 or something in that range to get status on the Mackenzie Tour. And played pretty well there. That got me out there for the year.
And there's some good competition on the tour. Just talk about trying to make cuts and who you're going up against on that tour.
Yeah, the talent now is incredible. It's getting, even since I started playing, it's getting better every year. There's so many golfers now, and it's every year it just gets a little bit tougher. And and now the last few years after they put in the new system of kind of qualifying for the web.com, you have the PGA Latino America and the Mackenzie Tour, which is kind of the stepping stone to get up to the web. And so all the players that don't have that aren't on the web are playing one of those two tours, and the level of play is just outstanding.
Your previous best finish on this tour was tie for 11th at the Stahl Foundation Open. What was the kind of the breakthrough in that tournament for you?
Up there at Thunder Bay, I really had a good week. I was a little disappointed in my finish. I felt like I should have done a lot better on the weekend, but so really that just kind of got me feeling pretty good and let me know that I should have a pretty good tournament coming up. So it kind of got me going a little bit, and it was nice that I was in the final group up there on Saturday. And anytime you're in the final group on the weekend, it's always nice.
Now take us through this past week. A 65 on Thursday, and you trailed by one. So obviously off to a great start.
Yeah, for sure. It's so nice getting off to a good start because these tournaments, if you see the scores are always low. So if you go out there the first day and shoot an even par or one under, it's not like you're out of it, but you have to do something really well the next 3 days. So getting off to a good start is so huge. And luckily I was able to do it this week and followed it up with a pretty good one on Friday. So it made it even better.
A three-way tie after Sunday or after Friday. So you go into moving day right there in the middle, right at the top of the leaderboard.
Yep. So the way the course was set up, it's one of those courses you just had to make birdies. So it's you get out there on the weekend and you just got to kind of keep the pedal down and keep trying to get it further under par. And I didn't have a great day Saturday, but I did enough good stuff to kind of recover from it and keep myself in there going into Sunday.
Yeah, one back heading into the final round. And I saw a stat earlier this year on the PGA Tour, the third round leader doesn't win 75% of the time. So maybe it was good that you weren't at the top going into Sunday.
I didn't mind it one bit. Obviously, it's nice to have the lead, but especially being as close as I was, just one back, it almost kind of frees you up a little bit and lets you just go out there and play instead of worrying about being in the lead or being close to the lead. It's just a really different feeling being in the second to last group than it is the first and then the last group, and it just kind of lets you go a little bit.
5 straight birdies to close out the front nine on Sunday, and you shot a 31 on the front nine.
Yeah, that was a good finish because the round didn't start the way I wanted to. I didn't hit a very good tee shot on one and bogeyed 2, and then 3 and 4 I was scrambling around on both of those holes making par, and I made a long putt for birdie on 5, and that kind of got me going. After number 5, I hit a bunch of good shots in a row and luckily capitalized on all the putts, and before I knew it, I had a pretty good lead there after the turn.
You bogeyed 10, bounced back with the birdie on number 11. That had to be a key there.
That was key. That was the bogey on 10. It wasn't a good bogey at all. It just never should have made bogey. But I got up on 11, hit a good drive, and hit another wedge to about 5 feet, and made that one. That kind of got that bogey out of my head really quick.
And I was following your round on Twitter, and you had to get up and down on 17 and 18, and those were must because you had a 3-shot lead. Then it gets down to 2, and of course, a 2-shot lead's nothing. You bogey, and the guy chasing your birdies, and you got a tie. But talk about the up and downs on 17 and 18, clutch putts.
Yeah, the one on 17 was really good. I hit a good drive, but I just hit a terrible 7-iron from the fairway. The pin was tucked all the way on the right, and I was kind of a little too cautious, just kind of making sure it didn't go right. And of course, hit it left in the bunker, and it was a fairly routine bunker shot, but it wasn't one that you're expecting to get up and down every time. And hit a good shot, and luckily rolled one in there, and that was really big for me. I felt like I didn't know exactly where I stood at that time, but I felt really good at 20. I knew 19 was maybe okay, but I wasn't sure. But staying at 20 going into 18 was a big key there.
And then you have to wait. It's going to take an eagle to tie, and it doesn't happen, so you got your first win.
Yeah, it was great. And I played with Kramer there on Saturday, and he's a great guy and a great player. And so I was standing there by the green watching, and he had a great shot in there. And I was really glad I had a 2-shot lead when he was coming to 18. That's for sure. Your
fiance, Brie Vega, caddying for you. Just talk about what that's like. Of course, she's a winner on Big Break on the Golf Channel, so she knows how to play. But just you're all's dynamic there as her on the bag.
Yeah, it's great. It really is. For one, she played a lot of golf competitively, so she kind of knows what's going on, knows what to say and what not to say, and which is nice. And plus, it's just great having a great friend on the bag, and she's my biggest support. So it's just nice having her out there.
I'm not sure which hole it was, but on one of your birdie putts, she was holding the flagstick, and I think she kind of wheeled it in there. I saw her in the foreground of the video.
Yeah, I saw that video too. I think that was on number 9, I believe. I think was that putt. And yeah, she was rooting pretty hard out there. That's for sure.
And you had some of your buddies come up, I think, on 17 and 18. They also showed on Twitter. And I know you go out and you compete against those guys, but I know that a couple of them were pulling for you.
Yeah, those guys, Blake Palmer and Jay Woodson, we've basically kind of been traveling together the whole year, playing all our practice rounds together, and they've turned into great friends, and it was fantastic for them to come out there. They said they wanted to come out earlier, but golfers are kind of superstitious, so when they saw everything going well, they didn't want to come out too early, so they waited till I didn't see them until I got there to 18 fairway. So it was great to have them out there.
Just talk about the difference now being a winner on the tour. So much media. I know they did a lot of videos with you. It's just big when you win. Yeah.
Winning it's not easy, and you can play really well a lot of weeks of the year and not win, and it's just hard to do. And and winning out there it means so much, not only for this year, but maybe next year. As long as I can have a strong finish to the year, it helps so much.
How many more events are you planning on playing in this year?
I'm going to play all of them. We've got 3 more. I head to Nova Scotia next week, and then the 2 weeks after that are close to Toronto in that area.
Some of those venues, I've seen the photos, just beautiful up there.
I've been thoroughly impressed with Canada. It is a beautiful country, and the people are great, and everywhere we've been, it's just been fantastic.
I've seen where they have the hockey goal at a lot of the sites, and the golfers try slap shot. Have you done that?
I have, and I must say I'm probably glad I'm not a hockey player because I'm not very good at it. But that one in Thunder Bay, the Stahl Foundation, there's the family, the Stalls there in Thunder Bay, I guess they have 3 sons that play in the NHL. So it was a big hockey city, and obviously pretty much every city in Canada is that way. And Wayne Gretzky played in the Pro-Am in Edmonton, and so there's been a lot of support from the hockey players up there for that tour.
Now let's talk about how are you making plans for your wedding in November with all this golf going on?
Luckily I have Bree that's doing most of that, so I can kind of focus on golf, and she can focus on that. So, but when the season's over, I'm sure there's a few things I'll have to get done.
What about a swing coach? Who are you working with now? And talk about some of your practice sessions. We see the guys on the range. Just talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I still work with Andy Plummer. That's a Kentucky guy there that was a pro at Maysville Country Club for a few years, and he's actually based out of Philadelphia now, but he travels a lot, so I see him whenever I can. And there's another guy down in Florida that's a good friend of Andy and a good friend of mine that I see sometimes too. So still working with those guys, and see him as often as I can. So.
There was one other shot I wanted to talk about when we were recapping your round. I believe you holed out from like 130 yards. Was that on Friday or Saturday?
That was on Saturday, the 16th hole on Saturday, and that one was nice. That's for sure. I was just kind of having one of those so-so rounds, just up and down and up and down, and that one there on 16 really kind of turned a so-so round into a pretty good one.
Well, Mark, congratulations. Great to talk to you. I know people like to keep up with you back home, and best of luck the rest of the season.
Thank you very much, Danny. Good to hear from you.
That's Mark Blakefield. He was named Kentucky Mr. Golf while playing at St. Patrick High School. He's a 2005 graduate of the University of Kentucky and was a member of Kentucky's 2005 Southeastern Conference Championship team. Blakefield won 3 times on the Hooters Golf Tour. He's played on the Web.com Tour, PGA Tour Latino America, and he's made 2 starts on the PGA Tour. With Sunday's win, he ranks 7th on the Merit of Honor, that's the money-winning list, on the PGA Tour Canada. The top 5 at the end of the season earn membership on the 2018 Web.com Tour. Here locally, Blakefield is a 5-time champion of the Junior Chippeways. He won the Chippeways 3 times. He was the 2002 Mason County Open champion.